Alright guys, it is Monday, September 20th, 2021 at 3:45 a.m. Alright guys, let's start with a Bible verse, then we can move from there. Alright, we got dailyverses.net. Verse of the day says, "So whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God." 1 Corinthians 10:31. Alright guys, so before I start the video and head into all the news and everything that's been happening, I just wanted to say that the reason why I don't have, videos constantly about, God news and the Bible stuff and all these things is because a female is not supposed to, or a woman is not supposed to, lead Bible wise, with verses and all this stuff. I just share the verses that I see on dailyverses.net because it's already there, it's already written, and I don't add or teach anything, biblically. I'm more interested in sharing information that's news, that's weather, that's anything that can help somebody else. And I also share dailyverses.net, like Bible verses that can help you. But I'm always pointing towards Jesus. This channel is basically pointing towards Jesus, meaning check out the Bible, read the Bible, follow Jesus Christ, get saved. You know, um, it's all that's really important when it comes to your soul, and follow Jesus, and that's it. But the news and the weather and everything else is to get you prepared to try to survive whatever is coming that the Bible says is coming. So I've been hearing a lot of news about La Palma. The volcano erupted. I had made a previous video warning that the La Palma was gonna erupt, and I had to delete it because I wasn't sure if people had actually evacuated from the island yet, and I didn't want to give false information on a video. So I deleted that video and I waited one day, and then the volcano erupted. So I was like, okay, now I can share the information about La Palma erupting. But the thing that's with La Palma is that it is right here off of Africa, and for many years they've been talking about the possibility of it erupting and causing a tsunami if any of the land of the island fell into the water and possibly cause a tsunami. So I don't think that that's going to happen, but if it does happen, I'll share the information. I think it takes like 8 hours or 9 hours for it to reach the east coast, if a tsunami does come from La Palma. But um, the point that I was trying to get to is that there's so much that supposedly is coming from the Bible, Bible wise, meaning that supposedly there's supposed to be a giant millstone tossed at Babylon, and I don't know if Babylon's America or Babylon's Rome. I've always had my hunches that Rome, has done so horribly um, with the Pope and all these horrible things that they've done with children and all this, like, just a lot of horribleness, and so many people possibly lost because they're following the Pope and not following Jesus Christ and the Bible. They're not actually reading the Bible and getting the information they need. But I don't know what Babylon is, right? So I just keep information, hearing information, and I share it the best I can. Um, okay, so supposedly there's a millstone supposed to be thrown, and Babylon's supposed to be destroyed in an hour. And I don't know exactly how people are gonna survive either that or the things that are supposed to be coming that the Bible says is coming. Supposedly in the Bible it says don't like pray that it doesn't, like, the fleeing of the cities or your homes doesn't come in the winter, and I pray that that doesn't happen in the winter, having to flee because of the possibility of the Antichrist or all these other things that could be coming, but who knows, But I share the information in the news so that people can get help. They can get the information. For example, if there's an earthquake, they can warn people about it, and it, share the information and help people if it saves a life, then that's the whole point, helping other people. But before I get into, the rest of the news, I just wanted to say that, I'm not uh, supposed to be followed by people, like YouTube and all this stuff for biblical stuff. I'm here to share news and everything. But I point to Jesus. I say, follow Jesus Christ the best you can. And, um, yeah, that's all I wanted to say in that sense. Um, Other than that, is pretty much trying to. This is kind of like a survival channel. You try to get through the best you can, and with everything that's supposed to be coming biblically, or as you can see, all these things happening in the world. You see earthquakes and wars and famines and floods, and it's kind of like, wow, what's happening? Like, wake up, what's happening? So I just wanted to share that information, that it's a survival channel pretty much. It's pretty much sharing all the news you can, and helping out your neighbor, loving your neighbor and helping out as you go. But anyways, La Palma says volcano erupts on La Palma in Spain's Canary Islands. Lava pours out of volcano on La Palma in Spain's Canary Islands. Thousands evacuated as Canary Islands volcano erupt. So I'll keep an eye on that the best I can. Let's take a look now at the Atlantic. We have Peter, Tropical Storm Peter. We have Tropical Storm Rose. We have Disturbance 1 coming off of Africa. And then we have Disturbance 2 on by Newfoundland up here, and heading towards the Atlantic up there. Let's take a look at Peter. So Tropical Storm Peter, maximum sustained winds 45 knots or 15 miles an hour, minimal central pressure of 1004 millibars, located at 18.6 north and 58.5 west, movement west-northwest at 12 knots or 14 miles an hour. Then we have Tropical Storm Rose, with maximum sustained winds of 35 knots or 40 miles an hour, minimal central pressure of 1005 millibars, located at 15.3 north and 31.1 west, movement northwest at 14 knots or 60 miles an hour. Alright, so Peter is forecast not to make contact with the mainland, or supposed to be a fish storm, but it is bringing rains, like the rains that are in front of Peter are bringing storms to Puerto Rico and the islands here. Let's take a look. Let's open a link here, see the exact track of Peter. Alright, so it's a storm, forecasted to be a storm, and then a depression on Wednesday, 8 a.m. But a storm 8 p.m. on Monday, a storm 8 p.m. on Tuesday, then a depression 8 a.m. on Wednesday, then 8 p.m. on Wednesday, still a depression, then Thursday a depression, and Friday a depression as it heads out in the direction of Bermuda. It's supposed to be a fish storm, not making really a lot of contact with the mainland. Let's take a look at Rose. Alright, Rose is supposed to be a storm and then a depression as it stays here in the middle of the Atlantic, not really making contact with a lot of land, so it's pretty much another fish storm. Thank goodness for these fish storms, because you don't want what was last year, just back-to-back storms in the Atlantic at the peak hurricane season, and people just getting rammed with hurricanes. So thank goodness that these are fish storms. But the hurricane season is not over yet. We're just pretty much, coming down from the peak of hurricane season. We have Disturbance 1, 10% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours. A tropical wave located over the far eastern tropical Atlantic, several hundred miles southeast of Cabo Verde Islands, producing an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development over the next several days, and a tropical depression could form later this week, while the system moves westward at 10 to 15 miles an hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic Ocean. Formation chance through 48 hours, low at 10%, but formation chance through 5 days, medium at 60%. So we got to keep an eye on this disturbance. It's lower than these other two, lower than Rose and Peter, so it could possibly head more into either the South American region, or if it curves up maybe into the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. I don't know exactly where this one's going yet, but let's keep an eye on this disturbance. All right, next we have UK record number of migrants crossing the English Channel. Nearly 1,000 migrants from Africa, Asia, and the Middle East have attempted to cross the English Channel on small boats in just one day to illegally get into the United Kingdom. The record-breaking surge of legal crossings is being facilitated by warm weather and calm seas. So heads up, England, you're getting a lot of immigrants crossing the English Channel headed your way. We're just dealing with a lot of migrants coming from Haiti and other South American countries into the United States, into Texas, and I had covered that in a previous video. But a lot of migrants are crossing borders and trying to get into better possibilities for themselves. It's crazy. So many people are just migrating. Alright, next. Pennsylvania rations alcohol due to crippled supply chain. So apparently a shortage of certain alcohol brands is leaving some drinkers in low spirits. The Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board announced this week it could begin rationing a list of popular liquor labels. It says due to the sustained supply chains of disruptions and product shortages, purchase limits of 2 bottles per customer per day were applied to certain items beginning Friday, September 17th, and will remain in effect in the foreseeable future. The 2-bottle limit applies to all customers and liquor license holders, such as bars and restaurants, and includes 43 known labels, including Hennessy, Cognac, Don Julio, Tequila, Jack Daniels, Whiskey, Moet, Chardonnay Imperial, Champagne, and Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon. So all of these bourbons are having issues and shortages in their supply chain in Pennsylvania. All right. Next, Carfax warned 200,000 vehicles damaged by Hurricane Ada may flood market. A Carfax spokesperson warned this week that a couple of 100,000 used cars from the tri-state area and Gulf Coast states are about to hit the market, and there's a risk many of them are flooded, damaged from Hurricane Ada. So that's a lot of cars that have been flooded, as there's a real danger and these cars may look fine and run well for a while, but sooner rather than later major problems are likely to occur. Flooded cars literally rot from the inside out, and the damage is often difficult for the untrained eyes to detect. So that's quite spooky for people out there looking at new cars to buy or used vehicles to buy. So I'll leave you the link to this article so you guys can check out more information from that. Alright, next, the White House is debating vaccines for air travel after Fauci said he'd support a mandate. According to The Hill on Sunday, the Biden administration is currently debating whether or not to implement a policy to require that passengers for all commercial air travel in the United States show proof of COVID-19 vaccine. The Biden administration is facing an internal debate over whether to impose vaccine mandates for air travel, with President Biden's chief medical advisor, Anthony Fauci, said he would support the mandate, but the White House claiming a new policy isn't forthcoming. It began with Fauci's comment in Skyrim podcast a few days ago, where he was asked about the possibility, I would support that if you want to get a plane and travel with other people that should be vaccinated, Fauci said. So I'll leave you the link to this article. Alright, next. Ultraviolet blast. Ozone hole over South Pole is larger than Antarctica and is the biggest since 1979. A disastrous effect for human health, food production, and ocean life. So this year, an ozone hole over the South Pole is larger than Antarctica and is the biggest since 1979. The Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service and its scientists have been closely monitoring development of this year's ozone hole over the South Pole, which has now reached a greater extent than Antarctica. After a fairly standard start, the 2021 ozone hole has grown considerably in the past 2 weeks and is now bigger than 75% of ozone holes at this stage of the season since 1979. The scientists report that the year the ozone hole developed as expected at the start of the season, it seems pretty similar to last year's, which also wasn't really exceptional until early September. but then turned into one of the greatest, longest lasting ozone holes in our data record later in the season. Now, our forecasts show that this year's hole has evolved into a rather large than unusual one. The vortex is quite stable, and the stratospheric temperatures are even lower than last year, so it may continue to grow slightly over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So here is a southern hemisphere ozone hole area, and as it has been increasing over the years, as you see here, August and September. Alright, so each of the southern hemispheres heads into spring. Human man-made chemicals break down the ozone over Antarctica, causing the ozone layer to become much thinner. So I'll leave you guys the article so you guys can check out this article about the ozone layer affecting the planet. Alright, and finally we have the next 5 asteroid approaches from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory of the California Institute of Technology from NASA. Says that the first of the 5 next approaching asteroids is the approximate size of 76 feet, about the size of an airplane. The name of the asteroid is 2021 RZ7. The closest Earth approach is 1,480,000 miles from Earth. It will be passing September 20th, 2021. That is today, at least, in the morning hours. The asteroid could be passing anytime today. I'm not saying it's passing in the morning hours. Alright, approximate size is 200 feet for the next asteroid. Airplane size. The name of the asteroid is 2021 RL3. The closest Earth approach is 1,828,000 million miles from Earth. The date it will be passing will be September 20th, 2021. And then the third asteroid is approximate size is 73 feet in size, about an airplane size. The closest Earth approach is 3,040,000 miles from Earth. September 20th, 2021. The name of the asteroid is 2017 SL16. So it will be passing today. Then the fourth asteroid is the approximate size of 67 feet, airplane size. The name is 2021 SB. The closest Earth approach is 3,420,000 miles from Earth, and will be passing September 20th, 2021. A lot of asteroids passing today. And then the last asteroid is approximate size of 61 feet, about the size of a house. The name of the asteroid is 2021 RV19. The closest Earth approach is 1,820,000 miles from Earth, passing September 21st, 2021. So we got 4 asteroids that are passing today. The closest to the Earth is 2021 RZ7, 1,480,000 miles from Earth. And then the rest pretty much are happening, but the closest one is definitely 2021 RZ7. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news and updates. I don't make that many videos because I share a lot of news on Twitter. I don't make that many videos, but what I do share on videos, it's pretty much a lot of information, either with news stories or updates with the weather the best I can. But yeah, start getting prepared for the winter. Start getting canned goods. I always say start preparing for hurricane season, but winter is another thing. You start slowly stocking up cans of soups, stocking up cans of chili, stocking up rice, just things that you never know that could be happening in the future. There's been so many shortages in stores that people see, the shelves aren't like they used to be. So just start preparing, start stocking up on food slowly. That doesn't mean go totally crazy, but just start stocking up and saving the things you need slowly. For example, if you usually buy just one bottle of shampoo and you see that it's at a discount or that it's at a good price, buy a couple more. You never know when stocking up and saving could help out in the future. Also, remember to help your neighbors and watch over each other as floods and rains and all these things happen with the natural, new weather that's happening. I was going to say the natural seasons that happen during the year, but there's so much flooding and so much happening every day. It's overwhelming. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up with all the news that I wanted to share and the things I had to say in the beginning about my channel, and it just point to Jesus and share the news. Pretty much all I can do. Alright guys, praying for all of you out there, and God bless you guys. See you guys next time.